Welcome to the Matt O'Grady Coaching Podcast. This is where Matt shares all his ideas on how to be happier, more successful, and enjoy life to the fullest. Please go to mattogradycoaching.com and theliving.gratitudebook.com to learn more and receive your free micro-coaching session with Matt.
Hello, and welcome to the Matt O'Grady Coaching Podcast, mattogradycoaching.com. So today I wanted to talk about mental rehearsal, otherwise known as visualization, something that the best teachers, the most successful people, Olympians, wealthiest people, the people who've achieved the most at whatever it is they do, are people who practice mental rehearsal, visualization, using their imagination to set up their lives, achieve their goals. It can be as simple as a 30-second intention where you use some words to say, something along the lines of, I really hope to have an amazing, wonderful, relaxing time at this family dinner. And just picture being with family, enjoying dinner, feeling happy, smiling, laughing, having tender moments, whatever it is. Simple though, 30 seconds, just relaxed, easy focus, right? No big production. And then you can also go all the way to the other side where you plan out this elaborate thing and do a 20-minute step-by-step visualization, listening either to your own voice or to someone else's voice, kind of walking you through it, almost like a hypnosis, right? And you're mentally practicing. People do it with the piano, Olympics, sports all over the world, business. People do it with everything, with any sort of planning, any sort of organization for your life. Now, you don't have to be an Olympian or, some special person to use this practice. You can just use it like everybody else, because the truth is there are no special people. It's just people who use specific thoughts, feelings, and actions to change their lives. And we can do it too. And I've been doing it for many years, and I have to say I kind of stepped away from it on the regular for a while, and now I'm really back into it the last few years. Been doing more mental rehearsal than ever before, and I'm doing it less formally than ever before, but I'm still doing it formally as well. So I do a lot of the small ones, and then I do some of the bigger ones too, thinking years out, experiences I want to have for my life, with my family, with my business, trips I want to take, things I want to do, successes I want to see, health that I want to see. And it's a ton of fun. So I'm going to go through a list of some of the greatest benefits. And just to be clear, science has proven this on many occasions, how helpful this is, whether it's brain science or actual just tracking of people who used mental rehearsal and those who didn't, and comparing the results. And the results are always much better for those who use mental rehearsal, and even sometimes those who don't use any physical practice for like sports or music, yet because they're going through the mental reps, if you will, their brain is creating that neuroplastic pattern in their mind, and therefore they're able to faster achieve the results, even though they're not physically practicing. And that's what's so amazing about this stuff, really is. So the first thing is you're scientifically increasing the probability that you're going to receive what you want. That's the first one. And isn't that amazing? I mean, I could wrap up the podcast right now. I mean, that's all you need, right? Is to significantly be increasing the probability from a scientific perspective that you're going to get what you want. I mean, that alone should make you stop in your tracks and say, holy crap, I got to practice this. I got to find out more. Creative Visualization by Shakti Gawain is, I think, the best classic book on it, but all the Joe Dispenza work talks about it. Lots of great teachers talk about it. Tony Robbins, great coaches of business, of sports, of, famous, successful people all throughout the world talk about knowing what you want, thinking about it, being hopeful, full of faith, full of belief in yourself and in the world, in your team, all these different things to help you get the experience that you're looking for. So that's the first thing. The next thing is that you're tapping into, this is scientifically again, you're tapping into different levels of brain waves. So as we go through the different levels of brain waves, we're actually forming the neuroplasticity patterns in our brain to experience what we want. So not only is it a scientific practice, increasing the probability, the second most important benefit that you want to know about is that you're literally shifting your brain waves. And if you've done any neuroscience study, you will find out pretty quickly that if you do this on a consistent basis, you are significantly changing your mind. You're changing yourself. You're changing your life. So as you consistently tap into this shift of brain waves, you're going to feel more what it's like to experience what you want. As you do that, you're getting closer to everything that you're aiming for, everything that you've intended for your life, everything that you want most. And it's absolutely amazing. So essentially what you're doing is implanting these seeds in your subconscious mind, in your conscious mind, and you're setting yourself up for greater confidence, greater probability, greater level of experience. Because even if you're going to do something no matter what, you've got the willpower to do it, right? You're just going to grunt your way there. Wouldn't you like it to be just a little bit easier? Visualization and mental rehearsal will help you do that, will help you find ways to have what you want in an easier, faster way. So isn't that better? That's number 3. Easier and faster. Aren't those great benefits? Don't you want everything that you want soon? I mean, do you want to wait years? Many months? I don't know about you, but I'd like to have things, the next few days, the next few weeks, at the most, the next few months. Sure, we visualize out years later. You can do that because sometimes it kind of a little mental judo with the ego. Feel like if you put it out a year or two, like, yeah, I've got enough time and space to grow into that. I think there's some good logic around doing some of that. But deep down, don't we all want what we want sooner rather than later? Yeah, we can practice patience. We can be okay with the process and be along for the journey. I agree with all of that. But there's always this little desire, right, of just, wouldn't it be just so great to see this in the next few weeks, the next few days, next couple months, right? So that's a really good benefit. Easier, faster, smoother, right? More efficient. The next one is fun. It is fun to visualize what you want. It is fun and enjoyable. It brings us pleasure to go through mental rehearsal of what we want. People so often spend very little time enjoying the process and enjoying that journey. And part of the journey is thinking and feeling about what it's going to be like to have what you want. Not just the process of getting there, but also the actual having of it, being it, having it already in your life, in your mind. And that, I think, is a massive, massive opportunity. Just to enjoy it now, be grateful for it now, have thanks for it already being in your life. You're essentially kind of you're in a little time machine, if you will, and you're just experiencing it already in the present moment. And you're bringing the future into the now. It's a fascinating process, and it's super fun. Okay, one of the next big benefits is that it increases your confidence. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that always something that's important to us, is feeling comfortable and good, really believing in ourselves, having that ease about whatever it is we're doing. I can remember my first probably 8 or 10 podcasts. Man, I was shaking like a leaf. I was so nervous. People are going to hear this. So important, Now I've done several hundred, and I'm like, yeah, there's never any nervousness. There's just excitement. I'm just excited. I'm confident because there's tens of thousands of you who have downloaded tens of thousands of podcasts all over the world. So I've got the proof now, right? I've got the experience after a decade of being a podcaster. So it's one of those things that it really shifts and changes the mental rehearsal. A lot of times I do it before a podcast. I'm coming up with the topic, come up with the ideas, I take some notes, read some articles, research some things, meditate on it a little bit, visualize some of the things I'm going to talk about, and then boom, the information just flows. Half the time I never even look at my notes. It's like studying so hard for the test, right? You don't even need to look at your notes right before the test. You just know it. You're just confident. Just go in and do it. So I think it's really important to remember this, to practice mental rehearsal in a fun, easy way. It can be 30 seconds. Don't get into you have to do 20 minutes 3 times a day or any of that. No, you don't. If you want to work your way up to that, great. But start with 30 seconds. Just start doing it more often on a regular basis, and you will start to receive the benefits, and you'll see it quick. And don't pick, just your biggest achievement in your life that you're trying to, experience. Play around with it. Have some fun. Remember, self-development, enlightenment, all of this is an art form. It is not just a strict science. It's an integration of science, practice, and art. We've got to keep the heart in it. We've got to keep things at least a little bit easy on ourselves, or we just beat ourselves up. We get too hard with the self-discipline. The term I use with my coaching clients is compassionate self-discipline, nurturing self-discipline. You want to urge yourself to practice, to be consistent, to follow through, to be able to focus, direct our attention. But if you're not doing it with a bit of a compassionate attitude, you just end up beating yourself up and failing, right? And that's never what we want. So hope you enjoyed this. I just wanted to record a quick podcast on this topic. I think it's really fascinating, really something that if you're not doing it already, really important for you to take a look at it, explore it, and put it into practice. If you have any questions, reach out to me, mattogredycoaching.com. I would love to hear from you. Please check out my YouTube channel and follow, subscribe, share, like, whatever over there. Just search for Matt O'Grady Coaching in YouTube. Thank you. Peace and love. mattogredycoaching.com.